As you notice, this was our last build, our 3 bunks. Kind of hard to see it from this angle. But we did take the ladders out, and we stained the ladders, and they look really fantastic. They look like they should have been there the entire time. I like the rustic look. So we'd like to go ahead and put a TV in the master bedroom. There's our TV hookup on the ceiling. And at first, let me go ahead and take this off my hand. I'm going to open the door, or I should say the doors, so I can show you the wall here. We got these sliding doors that come open, and so sorry about that. And when if I remember correctly, and it's kind of fuzzy. It's been a while since we bought this trailer. Right here on the wall, I think that's where the sticker was that says basically this is a TV mount. This is the back side of the TV mount. But someone had moved it. I think had moved it right up next to there, right up next to the power and the cable TV hookup, and it just you can't mount anything on the ceiling right there. It's just way too weak. So I do believe that this is where the TV mount would go. But here's the problem with it. When we're traveling and when we're in transit, these sliding doors push together like you see it at first. And if we were to put a TV mount there, look at the clearance. Look at the clearance that we have. There's no way a TV mount, even just a flush mount, is going to fit there. We could get the arm out too far. And besides the fact you couldn't close it and shut the doors, and to put those straps on the doors in order to hold them open during transit. So the dilemma is, if we're going to put a TV in here, even if we had a flush mount, removed the TV and laid it down on the bed or however else to secure it, the TV mount itself would inhibit the capability of the doors being closed fully and strapped down during transit. So we would have to remove the TV mount each time we traveled, and we don't really want to do that. Let me explain it. On the track up here, see that piece of wood right there that covers up the actual track to the sliding doors? We're going to mount a piece of wood from there to the floor against another piece of wood. But you see that plastic piece right there, and I'll have to explain why we want to do this. So that little clip, what ends up happening is the children push on these doors from the outside, and they're just plastic. Let me see. You see how they just bend and they push the door this way, and they'll push it out of track, and they do it. I mean, the last trip we took, they did it 4 or 5 times, and I was always constantly having to put it back on the track and all that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put a board from this clip to the other side clip, and so it'll put pressure here, avoiding the door, making sure the door has its track to slide in, and then but still hold this in place so they couldn't push on that. The piece of wood from the top track will go down to the piece of wood we're going to stick in between these 2 clips, stretched all the way across, and then we're going to mount that TV mount on the upright piece of wood. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to put this right down here. So I'm going to measure the distance between the holes for the piece, that wood that's going to go between these two clips, all the way across. And I've got to make sure I avoid that vent in the middle. So we're going to use pocket hole screws and pocket holes in the wood in order to screw it down to the floor. More than one way to skin a cat, right? Oh, sorry, all you cat lovers out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this old staple to hold that in place, just like that. If you ask me, that was pretty smart. Just going to go ahead and take my measurements out back, get my pocket hole driller out, and drill some pocket holes. Okay, so what we got here is we got the our wood in place, and we found out that we couldn't necessarily have it all assembled together and get it into the into place where we could just slide it in because of the angles. The angles just didn't allow for that. So we've taken it apart. We kind of changed direction. Okay, so if you notice that the door, when it slides open, there's a gap that's about an inch and a quarter or so way off the floor. What we're going to do is, because these screws have this beveled head on them, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you know, I don't have to countersink them. They can hang out this way, so they don't scratch this door behind here. So I'm going to kind of put them kind of low on this backboard, so I should be able to get most of the screws in from this side. Try to make sure it was behind this door, right to that that plastic track piece, to make sure that it was out of the way completely, and hopefully we don't stub our toes on it getting up in the middle of the night. Alrighty. Love these pocket holes from Craig's Jig. They work out perfectly for these kind of projects. And so what we want to do first is, you know, usually when you work a piece of wood, to account for the warping and all that, you want to start from one side and screw it down to the other, making sure everything's lined up perfectly. We got plenty of room, but I'm going to put the end pieces or end screws in first. Well, don't do that. I mean, eventually I probably will have surgery on that knee and get screws in it, but it doesn't have to be now. Now all we gotta do is put the TV mount on this.
Yep. Whatever the case is, the job's done. Looks good. We just got to maybe touch up a little bit. There's some stain here and there. My wife suggested that we take and build a shelf maybe above it for a DVD player. So we'll be probably looking at that. So that's where the stain is right there. We're gonna touch up that stain with a saw cut into it. But if we put a shelf right there, we'll put a little Blu-ray system up there so we can watch DVDs instead of TV, because on a general basis that's what we're going to do anyway, or at least that's what we're going to want to do.
So here we are back again at it, and my wife has decided that no, it's got to go the long way, like that, because the shelf is short. Ah!
I used the screw that has.
It's okay. No, I handed that to you, man. That was my fault. That was me. What we gotta do is we just gotta make sure it's centered, as best as possible. I mean, it's not rocket science,
Looks good to me. What you think?
As long as that remote can hit it.
Yeah, should be able to.
That's because I don't want to have to get up. Just over 5 7/8, but that's so close. You're a 1/16 of an inch off from being center. I ain't worried about that.
Booby. I'll hold you back.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have my square. We need to make sure these things are square.
Alright, I'll get the square. Alright, before we get too much further, let's run our wires up through it just to make sure that we can...
That sure would have been smart. Look at you. Thinking about the right things.
Get it up in there, though, by the way.
Don't want no untidy wiring going on.
And the other one?
Like this, and then of course you got the...
HDMI for the actual thing that needs to go in there. Okay, so That's done. Now we can, so we got our level up there. And I'm going to pull it down right there. So if you can hold that right there, I'll put the screw in the bottom. I'm going to put it in the bottom.
Okay,
Just going to hold it where I need it. It's going to be off. There's nothing I can do unless you want.
Are we level though?
We're level on top, yeah. Go up just a hair. Down. Right there. Where's the HDMI cable?
HDMI is right up here. There. No. Let me see.
Oh, I'm trying to plug something else. This doesn't have an HDMI.
No, it does. Look. Right there, baby.
Okay. Alright.
I know, baby. I love you. And I know it's difficult for you with these electronic devices. I can't even be serious saying it.
You know what?
I love you. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't even think about your butt being right there in the camera. Don't, because I'm not going to edit that out either.
Thank you, darling.
Yes. I think these videos that we do for the upgrades on the camper and all that. I really think that it should have at least one butt shot of you. At least one.
Yeah, okay.
Because that would be just fantastic. That's it. We've got a shelf up. I think we still need to tighten it up a little bit around that shelf. I think we can push this back. We got to Velcro the Blu-ray system down, so during transit it doesn't move. My wife's fairly confident that this is not going to...
I got something to put behind that.
Yeah, she says she's going to put something back behind it. It'll help keep it in place, I guess. And I'm still not above taking it off for transit. But, you know, we've allowed, I think, enough room to lift it off, to take it down easy enough and put it back on easy enough. All we got to do is just straighten up the cables and Velcro the Blu-ray system down, and I think this is done. So, hope you enjoyed it. The distance from the door to the wall here. Whatever you do, don't point the camera that way. Alexander's peeing in the yard. He's just sitting there hosing it in. I'm sorry. Cut. Take two. That's hilarious. You're back.
What are you guys doing?
Let me ask you something. Were you watering the ground out there?
Yeah.
You crack me up, son. You do. Yep.
Okay.
You're such a pro.
I don't know nothing about that. But do you see the other one of these? Sitting on it? Nope. Didn't we bring two with us, baby?
Well, I didn't see one out in the back. So.
Gotta be over here.
It's on the wall. All right. You out there? You guys out there on YouTube should have told us that.
Oh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Okay.
Looking for it everywhere.
Can't find